Yesterday I went to see La Fanciulla del West. I was totally overwhelmed by the beauty of this production, really. And it was fantastic, and a very, very strong experience. So what I wanted to say, we have here, and we are very fortunate, the main singers of this production, the male singers, I should say, Tenor Cornelius Smith, who is in the opera singing the role of the outlaw Dick Johnson. And then we have the baritone Vratogna, who is singing in the role of Sheriff Jack Rance. Jesse Rosenberg, who will be moderating this conversation, and who is professor, as you know, at Northwestern University. He is a good friend of the Institute who doesn't need an introduction, because we are all thankful to him for coming so often to present musical events.
This is the first time, this La Fanciulla del West, where we actually combine those two things. It's set in America, and we have American characters. At the same time, I guess there's a kind of problem here. Does it really sound American? And I found out this rather interesting story, perfectly true anecdote, about Puccini seeing a poster at the Metropolitan Opera in the days leading up to the premiere. And what it said was that this was an American opera. It was an announcement of Puccini's American opera. And he said, wait, no, this is a pure Italian opera. And it doesn't mean that he was indifferent to the American setting. He was very, very aware that this was supposed to look and feel and if possible even sound American in certain ways. At the same time, there was never any question in his mind that this was an Italian opera, firmly in the Italian tradition. And yet, believe it or not, a lot of the press coverage of La Fanciulla had to do with this problem of, was it really American? Did it really sound American? Were the actors on stage convincingly American in the way they spoke and moved, and so on? In a way, kind of a red herring, kind of a false issue, because Puccini never planned this as a convincingly American opera.
Went down and auditioned, and the teacher that I auditioned for was a part-time voice teacher, 2 days a week, teaching there, and she went to school with Dolores Ziegler and Cheryl Studer and studied with Ed Zambara. She still is there. She's a fantastic dramatic mezzo-soprano.
And what school is this?
At Hiwassee College in Madisonville, Tennessee. And I sang, and the head of the department there said, well, I don't see anything, I don't see any talent, so do you want to take him? And she immediately said yes, because she said, when you open your mouth, I heard something special. And that's where I got my first start. And she gave me all these, the old Italian arias and art songs, which, I didn't want to sing that. I wanted to sing gospel and country, if you can imagine that. So I said, let me sing one of my songs, and so she let me sing a song by Sandy Patty, We Shall Behold Him, and I said, I want to sing that note. I could not read music at all. She said, you don't have that note. And I said, I've got that note, and I can sing that note up there. So she said, try it. And I sang a high D flat above high C in full chest voice. And she said, with that voice, you've got to sing opera. And I said, what's opera? So she took me to see Faust. And, coming from a religious background, I found that so intriguing. And I called my dad. I said, Dad, I'm going to be an opera singer, And he said, well, son, you don't have to go to school to do that. You got to move to Nashville. I'm so serious. I said, no, not opera.
How about vocally, leaving aside, the dramatic interpretation or the dramatic conception? What's the experience like in singing this role that you sang last night, and how is that different from these other Puccini tenor roles you've done?
Well, certainly, I think Dick Johnson is vocally more difficult than Calaf and Rodolfo. Although De Grillo and Manon Lescaut is, I think, probably the most difficult tenor role of Puccini.
It was Pavarotti who played a very important role in launching the career of this baritone. Pavarotti had heard him sing in a concert, an important concert that's held every year in the Emilia-Romagna region. He represented Italy, sort of a competitive affair, and was able to get him going in his first concert. So he actually sang this Verdi opera Stifelio in Trieste, made a recording of that, and basically he owes a lot to Pavarotti. A moment of silence for Pavarotti. It's not been that long since he's been gone. Tu avrai sentito moltissimo la canzone di Pavarotti, no?
Sì, ho sentito moltissimo. Io fra l'altro ho conosciuto il maestro per telefono, perché io ero a Modena e stavo cambiando in macchina e ho ricevuto una telefonata. Era lui che mi chiedeva se potevo andare a casa sua, no? Perché mi voleva parlare. E io non credevo che questa telefonata, ovviamente. Quando lui mi ha detto sono il maestro Pavarotti, ho detto sì, ok, va bene. Io sono ubriaco, però.
So the very first conversation he had with Pavarotti was by telephone. He was driving in his car. Pavarotti called him and said, "This is Luciano Pavarotti. I would like you to come over to my place so we can talk about this." And he didn't take it seriously at all. He said, "Yeah, right." E
invece era vero e mi ha invitato a casa sua dove abbiamo poi parlato, abbiamo discusso e quindi poi c'è stato l'incontro e quindi quando è morto per me è stato un vero dispiacere, insomma.
Okay.
Ho avuto un rapporto vero.
So the sheriff also represents law. E anche questo è un punto d'onore.
Sì, la legge, la loro legge rappresenta, nel senso che la legge in quel momento la fa lui, decide lui qual è la legge, no? Perché comunque non è dovrebbe restarsi da solo poi alla fine. Quindi la questione è solo perché questa donna è in mezzo a tutti questi uomini, no? Poi alla fine si dice che lui è innamorato, perso di questa donna. Io non so quanto sia amore reale oppure quanto parli il testosterone.
So, we're talking about the sentiments of this character, these two characters for me. It's a sort of classic love triangle. There's one woman, two men who are after her, pursuing her. And of course she only loves one of them, who is our tenor hero. He just made a very interesting comment. It's called love. He says that he loves Minnie, but he's not sure how much is love and how much is testosterone. And in fact, this is something that I'd maybe like to show.
Really married.
He is really married.
Yeah. That's right. Ma mia moglie è molto lontana.
Yes.